Okay, welcome back. And our guest is Colonel Dr. Smaila Yombe Dabai, retired, immediate past deputy governor in Kebbi State. And just as we were coming back, another caller has come on. Good morning to you, Reverend Dominic. Okay, Reverend Dominic is gone. So we're back to you, Colonel. Yeah, people spoke about some of our, the last caller spoke about, at least he knows two out of those service chiefs that he can speak about, namely Ribadu, and I think he also mentioned Egbetokun, the DIG Kayode Egbetogun, the acting inspector general of police now. Apart from Ribadu and Egbetokun that were mentioned, there's also CG Musa, chief of defense staff, major general. There's TA Lagbaja, chief of army staff, major general. There's also EA Ogala, chief of naval staff, rear admiral. AVM HB Abubakar, chief of air staff. Those people in addition. Rufai, I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Continue, please. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, I just want to add that, the chief of defense staff and the chief of army staff are those that I know closely when I was the commander to a mobile brigade. And my brigade at that time was assigned with some responsibility of air operation. And on several occasions, we've been called to demonstrate air mobile operations in the academy. And I used to personally bring with the support of the Air Force, we bring together the air components of the Army to provide that service. And that was when I knew these officers. I just imagined that, yes, after they are nominated, and I said they're well chosen because they were very brilliant, and after commission coming to their present day function as various chief of defense and chief of army staff must be as a result of hard work and acceleration from the successes of their command. And I say that the commander-in-chief has really chosen people, officers that will provide that kind of services he very needs in the area of security.
Okay.
Unfortunately, naval young man and the IG was not very conversant with them, and so was the Air Force chief.
Yes.
But
the Air Vice Marshal.
Yeah, but ADM, yes. See, I used to fly with immediate past chief of the former chief of air staff, Sadiq. I used to fly helicopters with him because they were attached to my brigade in Port Harcourt. I fly helicopters too, and I fly both helicopters and fixed wings. But don't get confused. I am an infantry soldier.
Okay.
But trained to, yes.
That's that's an interesting tidbit. Did you just say that you fly helicopters too?
I fly both helicopters and fixed wings.
Okay, I thought you were of the Army, so it's like a flying unit within the Army, right? Or is it the Air Force?
Yeah, there was a plan in place to create Nigerian Army Aviation to provide close combat support to the infantry. And that is, the soldiers having their own air component for close combat support, and then leaving strategic targets to the Air Force.
Okay.
And simply what I mean by this is the infantry will be supported as he moves into his given objective. And he will be reinforced, he will be given logistic support, he will be evacuated when he becomes a casualty. And you see, so that would make the infantry more efficient.
All right.
Because here he has air power from the air.
I get you.
Infantry is able.
Now I see you're a man of many parts. Let me add a quick one. I mean, you also have a PhD. Might I inquire, what's your PhD? What was the dissertation? What was it in?
Air transport and logistic aviation.
Oh, okay. I guess that figures. All right then. I have Chidi on the line in Kafanchan. Good morning, Chidi.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in.
And good morning to the retired colonel in the House.
Yes.
In fact, I must have to commend the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because since his inception, the appointments he has been making are very, very critical to giving Nigerians what leadership is all about. Coming down to the the National Security Advisor,
yes,
in the person of Ribadu. Ribadu, by his president, are much more qualified to handle that very position. And we must also understand that the job or the assignment of securing this country is not a solo affair. It is an inclusive affair. In other words, himself and various other stakeholders must have to work synergically, as I will always say, to ensure that all areas of security is well manned. And whenever he gives an advice, it should be followed proactively to ensure that security is up. Thank you very much, and God bless Nigeria.
Indeed, thank you too. Thank you, and also for holding on a bit. At the top, coming back to you, Colonel, at the top of the program, I was saying that the president, about 5 days ago, roughly about a week ago, had inaugurated the National Economic Council under the chairmanship of the vice president. And therein, apart from the main business that the president had emphasized, that things like security, economy, jobs, agriculture, and infrastructure should focus. He made no illusions about it was going to be a difficult job before them all. But I was there's a sense in which I was tickled when President Tinubu had said that it's not going to be an easy job, but we begged for it, we campaigned for it, we preached for it, so we have no reason to complain about the difficulty or challenge was what he was implying. But he was telling, because as you know, the meeting will consist of governors in addition to all those people who are members of the National Economic Council. So it's like this is a new kind of governance seems to be experiencing a fillip, if you want, where, look, there's a lot of work on the ground. It's not going to be easy. So, in fact, I think he's saying that he doesn't want to hear complaints. Is that probably the attitude to have? He doesn't want to hear reasons why a thing is difficult. Because otherwise, why would the president have been emphasizing that we campaigned for it, we preached for it, we begged for it, and we were given it? So now, I guess what he's saying is that I don't want to hear complaints from any quarter. Is that an attitude or a demeanor, a disposition that you personally approve of?
Well, let us examine the prevailing economic situation in this country. We all know that is no news, that our economy and all that goes with it is in shambles. And that's why during this program, one or two persons made comments regarding, let him not stop the changes he's making in the armed forces security. Let him also split over to central bank and other areas.
Yes.
And so, and I think the inauguration of this economic
the National Economic Council.
The National Economic Council that's chaired by the Vice President, it's a welcome idea. And I can assure you that His Excellency, the President of this country today, has exonerated me creditably on my position and what I kept shouting about during the campaign period. And I can tell you that most of my colleagues that were involved in that exercise, I was saying, "Ah, look, it appears that you know everything. The TNC is changing everything." And I said, look, we are yet to see really the changes because the results will start coming out and then people will start biting their fingers, and those who were against us will realize that really, hey, this is about time we sit up and then unite with the present administration to make sure that we have total success.
Indeed.
And so, as you can see, that the inauguration of this council is one step that is taken in the area of solving our economic situation.
Okay. Elder Dari in Kaduna, good morning to you, sir, and thank you for holding on a bit. Please go ahead now.
Good morning, Uncle Yori, and to your guests in the studio.
Thank you. Good morning, sir.
You see, Nigerians are not asking for too much. What they want is just fairness and equity. Nigerians are very easy to lead. You see, but in situations where you make some Nigerians more Nigerian than Nigerians, there will be agitations. I think that is where the crux of the matter is. But you see, with the appointment of these service chiefs and all other heads of security agencies, you can feel that the palpable tension in the land has been doused. Simple. In Nigeria, we have strong individuals rather than strong institutions. When the institutions are stronger, then you find things just falling into place. Now the president is able to tell you that he has a content, and we're able to see the content in its quality right now. So when the rising is done, nobody will be agitating for anything. Just let fairness, equity spread across the land. And in terms of security, insecurity, now that he has gotten round pegs into the round holes, you find out that other things will follow. But they have no option now. The people that have been appointed subject to confirmation of the National Assembly will always put their foot on the ground, especially the Chief of Army Staff. He's a fighting general, and the Chief of Defense Staff too. And concerning Nuhu as the National Security Advisor, I don't think there should be any problem with that. The president have the right to choose who he repose confidence in to give him what he wants. There is no, if you know you cannot subject yourself to Nuhu, I think you'll be shown the exit door. This is what the commander-in-chief wants. And I think the people that are saddled with the responsibility, they know what it takes to be subject to the chief, to the commander-in-chief. God bless Nigeria. Nigeria is on the right footing. Good morning.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Elder Dari, for contributing that. And, just looking at the newly appointed officers by the president, they also, I didn't get to it when I was listing them out, there's also the Chief of Defense Intelligence, EPA, Undiandeye. We're going to have to learn these names, some of them very soon. He's a major general. And by the way, there was also some talk, if you look on Twitter, social media is not necessarily the place you look when you want to get the kind of comment that, but if you looked on the Twitter yesterday, there were all sorts of commentaries, including maybe the principle of federal character had been infringed. Nah, when people looked again, they saw that nothing like that. One particular name that jumped out was the Rear Admiral, E.A. Ogala, Chief of Naval Staff. And that's probably by maybe a lot of Lagos people that maybe they know of Babatunde Ogala, S.A.N. That's a lawyer. No relation whatsoever. The Ogala that is the Chief of Naval Staff is from Enugu State, but that's neither here nor there. Just to say that first of all, it was the first of two announcements that we received yesterday night. So people were still working on that, and then we saw that the president had dissolved the boards of every federal government-owned company and all of. So we're in the same kind of house cleaning kind of period, aren't we? In fact, it's almost as if the president is using the symbol of his party, the broom, as it were, to clear up a bit so we can know where we are. You seem to like that analogy. Is that something you would agree with? That the president is using the broom?
I agree with you 100%. The president was one of those who picked the broom as our logo, as to sweep, so that we sweep this rubbish away from our nation. And I want to seize the opportunity to really congratulate the Commander-in-Chief for the wonderful job he is doing. And really, he has exonerated us, those of us who were up and doing during the campaign period. I have no doubt whatsoever that the best is yet to come. And I also want to seize this opportunity to congratulate the Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Naval and Army Staff, and
all those military chiefs. Okay, I'm sorry, sir. Let me quickly bring on our last caller for the day, Benga in Abuja. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Mr. Yori. Good morning to your guests.
Thank you. Go on, please.
My name is Benga from Abuja. I want to congratulate and appreciate my president, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. And for information, sir, I added Asiwaju to the name of my son because that name is working for him. He's always in the front. He's always leading. He's always coming first. And he has been striking the right chord. And I can say that so far so good. Nigeria will be back here. Now, let's now go to the issue. This appointment that he made.
Very briefly, please.
Appointing Nuru Ribadu as the chief at the NSA. I want your guest to comment on it. To me,
he has done so.
We could have now because
sorry, Benga. He has already commented on Ribadu as the NSA.
Okay, my own is that I think it's the best we could have because our problem is internal security. There needs more of intelligence than the general and the rest. And that we're doing good work. But we need somebody who can really give more of intelligence so that we can work on that to combat kidnapping, banditry, cultism, and all the rest we have in this nation. So I expect from them. And I want the president to press for the alteration of the constitution to accommodate state and local government policing so that we can strengthen the policing of our interior. Amotekun is a testimony that state policing and community policing is what we need in Nigeria to combat terrorism, kidnapping, and all those banditry we have in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Benga, and also for keeping it brief because right now, Colonel, it seems that the president's approval rating is quite high. Going by the comments that you've made, comments that we're also getting from viewers, it would appear that the president's approval ratings so far are quite high.
Like I earlier said, before we went into the business of campaigning, we had sat down with a couple of my friends and analyzed who we are supporting. We looked at what His Excellency had done in the past and how he went about getting the results he did in Lagos State. And we said, and we looked at the other counterparts too, Obi, Atiku, and we said, look, listen, there is no way. There is none of those two that compare in any way to our president.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I went all out. I personally had an aircraft that participated actively. If you were there, you would have seen an aircraft in the air throwing banner and throwing out handbills. And I mean, just to mention some of the few things we did.
Yes.
We don't want to start describing, but at least we were now sitting upright, and we thank Almighty Allah for that success in giving us.
Indeed. We're going to have to leave it there, Colonel. We're going to have to leave it there, Colonel. But thank you very much. We've run out of time. Colonel Smaila Yombe Dabai, retired, PhD, immediate past the Deputy Governor of Kebbi State. Thank you very much, sir, for your time this morning.
Thank you. Thank you.
Indeed. Our pleasure. So that's our program. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folari. Bye-bye for now.